All right, we are live. It is the first ever Spinnin Backfist MMA show. It is your host, Robbie Fox. I've got Jack Mack. I've got Big Ev. We've got M-Regs in the studio. We've got the King Hasbollah back here. You may be able to see him. And we are going to kick the show off with a special guest, someone who I hope will be a recurring guest throughout the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, Paddy the Baddy. We're here to talk about UFC 272. We'll talk about that with him. We'll talk about UFC London, which I'm going out to March 15th. I booked my flights yesterday, boys.
Ooh,
it's going
to
be my first time across the pond. Paddy's going to have to show me a good time. And as long as we're ready to send him on, let's get Paddy the Baddy in here. How are you guys doing?
I feel fucking great.
Oh, yeah. There he is. Paddy, can you hear us? Can we hear him?
We can.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. Paddy, how we doing?
I'm good, lad. I'm good. Just finished my little 410 calorie tea.
Nice. You look skinny. You look lean. You look like you're getting back into fight shape.
I don't look like I did when I seen you last, do I?
No. You look like you lost a bunch of weight. What's the Instagram situation? You hit me up this morning. You're pissed about Instagram. You're taken down again. What is going on here?
They're a gang of motherfuckers, lad.
Why'd you get taken down this time?
Because defending a child who's fighting for his life, to be honest, lad. He's got a brain tumor and all sorts of other things wrong with him. And I put a post last week to get his raise his GoFundMe money up higher, and some piece of shit commented on it, something horrible about him. So I reported the comments, and Instagram hit me with the notification saying, "This comment does not go against our community guidelines. We won't remove it." So obviously, me being the man I am, lad, I've got morals. I can't sit there and let someone talk so disgustingly about a young child. I terrorised them, lad. Called them a piece of dog shit. Said it'd be great if this happened to someone in your family, to see if you'd be laughing then. And they took me account down the next day, lad.
Yeah. So
at the minute, lad, I've had to make another new Instagram, lad. My third Instagram account.
I feel like we gotta broker like a sit down or something.
Yeah,
we gotta get like Paddy the Baddy, their team, get like Instagram in a room. We gotta like mediate this like Godfather.
You're restarting a new Instagram
every month.
We gotta
figure this out.
It's every month you got a new Instagram.
Same with Twitter.
Lad, I'm gonna punch Mark Zuckerberg's head in.
I mean, but also like when these people come at you, maybe show some restraint and you won't get that account taken away. I know you got the morals, but Paddy, I mean, you're growing these big accounts. You got to grow the brand.
Lad, I'm just me, lad. That's why people love me. I'm never going to change for no one. Know what I mean? That's why I've got the following I've got. That's why people love me the way they do. Yeah. Because I respond to people. I speak to me fans, and a lot of other fighters don't, lad. I'm there to talk to people all the time. Lad, the worst thing about it is that I have people in my DMs that who are suffering from mental health problems, and they say to me, "Oh, without you messaging me back here, Pad, I don't know what to do." And now Instagram have took that away from me. I can't make sure that these people are okay every day.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, that's classic.
This is affecting more than just Paddy. This is affecting the entire Paddy the Baddy fan base.
It's the fact that I share charities constantly as well, lad. All these, I literally just had a message off a woman then saying I've just tried to tag you in the charity night they're doing for homeless people, and they can't tag me in it because my account's not there, and I can't share it for them.
Well, after the next fight, maybe you're going to have to, call out Zuckerberg, and we're going to have to get him on the line. We're going to actually have to get a sit-down, like I've said.
Don't you worry. I am going to snatch the microphone out of Bisbin's hand and say, I am going to punch your face in, Mark Zuckerberg, you lizard.
You lizard.
That's going to get the account.
Yeah, that will get it back, yeah.
Paddy, listen, why don't you just challenge these commenters to a game of FIFA? Let's just make it that, right? Just kick their ass in FIFA. We don't have to resort to the violence. So then
I'm shit at FIFA.
No, I've seen you play. You're not bad. I think he kicked my ass.
I'm all right at FIFA, but I'd rather challenge them to get in the cage with me, and none of them will do that.
You got to bring back Bully Beatdown. Remember Bully Beatdown?
Yes.
Great show, Robbie. Great show.
How can we bring back Bully Beatdown, where they can maybe sign NDAs? Like Kevin Holland, he's on this card. He's doing that with bullies now. People troll him on Instagram.
But see, I watched the interview. Holland said now it's worse. Now he's getting more trolls because now that's what happens. They want the little shine. Like Paddy's doing a good thing where like I'm sure these kids that are struggling, like when Patty reaches out to him, Patty stands up for him, it hits way harder than if they just come out with, like, whatever. Like, when Patty comes, it hits.
Yeah.
It's like a tough line to walk where you're, like, defending guys, and then he's getting smoked for it on getting his account taken away.
Well, are you getting thrown out of Liverpool anytime soon, or no? You're good with Liverpool now.
This city loves me, lad. This city, like...
No, not the city, the stadium, I meant. The stadium.
Anfield?
I put the video on YouTube explaining why my Instagram's being took down, and just read through some of them comments, lad. Everyone's backing me. Everyone.
Yeah. No,
everyone's on my side, lad.
What's the status with England? Is Liverpool a part of England or no?
Obviously, lad, it's funny, like, because we say Scout's not English, but obviously Liverpool's a part of England. Like, it's annoyed me lately where people think I hate English people. I don't. I hate the establishments. I hate the monarchy. I hate the governments. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe that's why they keep taking you down. You keep saying how much you hate the government.
Yeah, fuck them.
I'm going to London, first time ever, March 15th. I got the fight booked. Is this going to be the greatest Paddy the Batty fight week ever?
Oh, it's going to be spectacular, lad.
What are we getting into?
Spectacular. It's going to be great, lad. I can't wait. Know what I have found out as well?
What?
Liverpool are only playing Arsenal on the Wednesday at Arsenal's ground.
Ooh.
We got an Arsenal supporter behind the glass here.
Zah's in the back right now.
You know Zah with troops?
I'm kind of an Arsenal fan, too. Maybe we'll come kick your ass there.
We've got them on the 16th, lad. On the 16th, we've got them at the Emirates when we're in London. So I might try and cop for some tickets, lad. And watch us slap Arsenal. Be funny, lad.
There's Zah.
Zah saying no.
That's one of Arsenal's games in hands that they're very proud of. They don't like to mention that they have Liverpool and Tottenham in hand.
I'll be honest, I think Arsenal are going to get fourth this year, and I hope they do. As long as Man United don't get it, I'm happy.
Yeah, they'd be back in Europe for the first time in 5 years.
I would like that. Would it be weird going to his a football match, as you say, on fight week, though, where you can't drink, you can't eat anything? You just got to have to, like, sit there and cut weight?
I've been doing that the past... I've been to Liverpool's past 6 games in a row. I went to Milan with Donny. And when I was in Milan,
I saw that. That was a good video. Yeah,
good time.
All I ate was 2,000 calories, lad. I took macro chef food with me, and I ate grenade bars, and I had a little pasta while I was there. That's it, and just drank water.
That's fucking crazy. What did you get up to? Do you feel comfortable sharing that with us in between camps?
Well, to be honest, lad, Donny come and met us at the hotel, and I hadn't slept the night before. I couldn't sleep because we were getting picked up at 4 a.m. So I sat there and played FIFA till 4 a.m.
My man.
And I ended up having to go and have a nap. So I had like 3 hours in the day and left Donny with me mates, just like one of my mates, Mugsy. Donny was calling him Mugsy.
Yeah, that's a scout's name.
Yeah, lad, I swear. It was a great day out, brilliant day out. I loved it, lad. I'm going to have to get Donny over here to a game at Anfield because you'll love it there.
I want to watch your fight. I don't even care if I'm in the arena. I want to watch your fight with your boys. Wherever they are, the most, Scouse, Paddy the Batty boys of all time, that's where I want to be.
Well, I'm hoping, lad, that they're not too far from the cage, lad, and I can jump over and celebrate with them like I have done years before.
Yeah. We'll crowd surf you through the crowd. That'll be the first ever MMA crowd surf.
You think
pulling fences down again?
Yeah.
You think we could sell out Anfield for UFC?
I know
fight?
we could. I could do it this weekend.
Okay.
Never mind in a few years.
You really could. It's crazy that you're not on the poster, by the way. Did you see that? How are you not on the poster for UFC London? It should just be a poster of your face.
Yeah, you're right, but, all the other fights are ranked fighters, aren't they? Like Hooker, Allen, Volkov and Aspinall are all ranked fighters, so I can understand it. You know what I mean? I'm not the main or co-main, but I'm the people's main event, lad. I'm the one who everyone's going to see. Did
you hear anything from your opponent's camp? Have you heard anything like juicy?
Nah.
No, nothing.
He likes horse meat tacos. About it.
Is that what he's been posting on his Instagram and shit?
I don't know, lad. I haven't even had a look. I don't concern myself with him, lad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I've got a breakdown of him, lad, and he's pretty shit. So he's getting beat in the first round.
Oh, all right.
Do you like when they talk? Like, I know you kind of said it doesn't matter, but does it get you fired up when they talk shit first, or no? It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter, lad. I don't even mean to talk shit about people, lad. It just comes out my mouth. Like, I think he's a crab, and it's that simple.
What do you think about the title fight there? Not the title fight, the main event this weekend. It would have been for the BMF title, but Jorge and Colby. Who do you got there?
To be honest, lad, I want Masvidal to win, but I just can't see him not getting wrestle fucked. To be honest, I just can't see it, lad.
Yeah, I think you were in New York for the last Colby fight, and yeah, you didn't like him. You called him a mushroom head.
Yeah, I thought that fight was close, though. I thought that fight was very close.
48-47.
I thought it could have been a draw, to be honest.
I even think because I was there too. It was one of those when after I talked about Robbie before, like after Colby got dropped, and I think it was like second round, I was like, oh, he's done. But when it was weird because the cards came out, I feel like just someone in the stands. I was like legitimately, I don't know who won. I thought it was. I thought it was closer. I felt like being in there. I thought it was closer than people treated it after the fact.
I had the guy from Bang Energy sitting behind me, and he's like part of Colby's team apparently, and he asked me, he was like, who do you think won this fight? And I was like, I don't think your guy got it, man. I'm sorry.
Because I remember just being there, all the people around next to you kind of make those like fans in like the crowd or whatever, and we all were like, I was like, he came back so strong because his volume is so high. Like Usman obviously hits harder, but he comes with so much volume. It's like
punches just don't look like they have anything behind them.
No, not a lot of sting, but they're just always there. They're just pop. Yeah. They're always there.
I thought it was Usman 1 and 2, and maybe a 10-8 Usman for 2, and then I thought it could have been Usman or Colby 3, and then Colby 4-5. So it was whoever you give the third to, really.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole RDA fight? Fiziev drops out of the fight, and then it's like Islam says he's going to step in, but then Dana said he really turned it down. What did you make of that?
I feel so bad for RDA. You know, that man can't catch a break, lad. He gets injured in the build-up to the McGregor fight, and then that fight never ends up happening, what would have made him a millionaire. Yeah. And then the amount of dropouts and all sorts of stuff he's had, lad, I feel so bad for him. I'm just glad he's actually got a fight, lad. Moicano stepped up, but I really rate Moicano. I think he's a good fighter, and they both got good jits, so it could end up being a striking fight. But yeah, Dana said that he thought Islam was taking the fight, didn't he? Ali Abdulaziz just needs to stop fucking going on his clients' Twitters, lads. He's a fucking hell.
You think that's what it was? You think Ali said, I'll take the fight, and then Islam said, fuck that, I'm not taking it?
Isn't RDA an Ali fighter too?
Oh, he is, isn't he?
I think that was a little...
Is RDA working both sides?
Yeah. Not RDA. Ali was working both
Ali
sides
working
with
both sides
RDA and Islam.
He's just talking to himself on a bunch of accounts.
He's talking to himself,
yeah. I said it. Someone said, see, Islam is taking the fight to me on Twitter, and I just put back, if he's smart, he won't, because he's got a title shot. So what's the point?
Well, Dana said he's not getting it now. Dana said since he turned this down, he's making him face Benil. You think that's fair?
Yeah, because you shouldn't really get a title shot off beating Bobby Green, really.
Yeah.
But he might just be clearing the way for McGregor to come back and fight the winner of the title fight. Yep. Never know.
I think that's what's going to happen. Like, people are saying they would be so pissed off if it happens, but Dana just keeps playing the, like, never say never. We'll see.
Well, it's going to happen. And everyone that's going to be mad.
It's the money fight, lad.
Yeah.
It's the money fight.
This is the money fighting business.
Professional mixed martial arts is a business. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy this week too because people have been saying like it just makes dollars and cents. Like look, we have literally a pay-per-view main event with nothing on the line.
Nothing on the line. They're saying,
but I guarantee
the BMF title.
I guarantee this Masvidal Kobe fight is going to sell more than a lot of title pay-per-views.
Yeah. This will sell better than the like I love Glover Teixeira, but it'll sell more than next Glover fight.
That's just what it is. That's when you have like a guy like Masvidal, a guy like McGregor, like these massive. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Masvidal is just fun to watch. Just from the watchability, like he just makes it like a street fight, and that's kind of what sometimes like the casual fans kind of want to see.
Yeah, what were you saying before about Eddie Alvarez, like having the dual careers? That'd be a good question.
Patty, I was gonna ask you this. I think you're a title guy, but I'm saying I thought there's an interesting question to pose. So as a fighter, when your career is all said and done, would you rather? I use the example of Eddie Alvarez because he touched the belt, he won the belt, he didn't defend it. When he went to defend it, he got dominated pretty bad. Would you rather touch the belt like an Eddie Alvarez, for example, or would you rather your career end, say, like a Masvidal, massive pay-per-view star, huge just UFC star in general? He got close to the belt. He never got to touch it, though. Well, like when your career is over, which would you, if you had to choose one of those, what would you prefer?
It's a tough one, lad. You know, that's a very tough one. It's about legacy for me, lad, to be honest. I think I'll earn enough money outside of the cage than earning money from pay-per-view points, lad. When when I'm done fighting, lad, I'm going to be on the telly, lad. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just an axle in front of a camera, lad. So it's legacy for me. It's a belt, lad. But I can understand the other side where you see some fighters now who was former champions and they're still skint now. They still haven't got a pot to piss in. So you can see both sides of it. I'd take the other side if it meant headlining a fight at Anfield and winning at Anfield. I don't know whether I'd rather have that than a UFC title, to be honest.
Because there's just what matters about what pay-per-view points, and like now he's anytime he fights now, he's headlining pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I know that's just become such a big, and someone like him who's getting pay-per-view points, like he's making huge money compared to some other guys, like even guys like you said, like guys who have won titles who aren't making nearly the money that a guy like he is, like a Nate Diaz or someone like that.
Yeah, him and Nate's both earn big money, don't they, lad? And that's like
they deserve it. They deserve it. They sell the fights
they
like
deserve it because they like what does Dana call it? A pencil mover.
Needle mover.
Needle mover. That's it, lad.
Let's start saying
pencil mover. Yeah, let's move some pencils. Patty's the first pencil mover. Patty, thank you for joining the first show. We're gonna keep doing these. Hopefully, we'll get you back on for some check-ins leading up to the fight, even after the fight.
I'll be back, lad. Don't you worry about that. Anytime, let me know. Oh, yeah, Blaze wanted me to say hello for you.
Blaze. Yeah, take care of our guy, Blaze.
Yeah, shout out, Blaze.
Good best.
He's loving it, lad. I've got him to a good few games at Anfield and that. He's flying.
I can't wait to see him when I come to London. It's been a while.
And check out the vlogs on Patty's channel.
Yeah, Patty's whipping up awesome vlogs.
Yeah,
with Blaze.
the vlogs are awesome. And Blaze edits them, shoots them. Shout out, Blaze.
Shout out, Blaze. Thanks, Patty.
He's gone, lad. I've got that new account as well at the UFC Paddy. People are going to have to follow that for now until Instagram stop being lizards and give me my proper account back.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Patty. We appreciate it. We're going to swap over now. We've got Megan Oliveira waiting in the
star-studded first show.
Star-studded. We got guests all over the place. The MMA Hour who? The MMA Hour who? No, I'm kidding.
Because Robbie's a pencil mover.
Yeah, I'm a pencil mover. We're moving pencils on this show.
The baddie got Megan Oliveira.
We're moving pencils. I think we got Megan Oliveira. Now we should be able to transition. Yeah.
I can see you guys.
Oh, there she is. What's going on, Megan? How are you?
Great. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Thank you for joining the first show. Patty, we said, isn't really like a guest because he's going to be on the show all the time. So we're considering you the first official guest. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
I am so honored. Truly. Thank you.
How are you doing? Is this a hectic fight week? When fight weeks are like this and it's like, a Colby versus Jorge fight, a bigger fight, is it more hectic for you?
It is more hectic. There's just like more elements that go into all of the shows that we do. We just added this morning a Q&A with Kamaru before the weigh-in. So it's just a lot more to prepare for, and we try to make them spectacular and over the top and sort of outdo ourselves every pay-per-view. So there's always additional responsibilities that come up throughout the week, and it's fun. Listen, I wouldn't have it any other way, and these big fights are what keep us excited every week. We get to, step into the Apex or T-Mobile or wherever we are. It's never the same, and there's always something to look forward to. And this one feels really massive, even though there's no title or anything on the line. It just feels like a huge fight.
I agree. Do you think it feels like even bigger to you and the people from the UFC that have been around these guys when they were best friends, when they were cornering each other, and now you see them and it's like they can't even be in the same room without security?
Yeah, actually, we had our fighter meetings yesterday. So it was myself, Michael Bisping, and John Anik. And when we talked to both Colby and Jorge, we told both of them, like, this one feels huge and we're so excited. And John actually said, for a lot of us, this feels like one of the biggest fights we've ever been a part of. And I don't know if necessarily, the general public or MMA fans feel that way, but we certainly do. And I think you're right, Robbie. It has a lot to do with the way we've seen their relationship, grow, evolve, and then certainly change. And so for us, it's like, what is going to happen? How's emotion going to play into this? So it is a really fun one.
Yeah. And when it comes to these two, where would you rank them in terms of all of the heated rivalries that you've been a part of in the UFC? I know there's so many. I mean, you've been with the UFC for how many years now? 10 years?
Yeah, a long time. So I started when I was like 13 is what I'm saying. This one ranks right up there. I think I'll be able to better answer that after the fight because we have kept them so separated.
Yeah.
Throughout the buildup of this and throughout fight week. I mean, they both have security teams and their schedules are keeping them as far apart as possible, but you can tell it's all simmering under the surface. And the thing that I get asked a lot about, which is sometimes frustrating, is like, oh, do they really dislike each other? And for 90-something% of our fights, they're fine. There's respect. They like each other. They're competitors, but there's nothing, personal about it. But then you get those couple of fights every year where it's like, wow, there is a lot of heat on this one. And that's certainly where we are here. It's real. It's genuine. They both told us we will not be friends after this. Like, neither one of them cares what they obviously want to win, but they're like, I don't care how the fight goes. He can try his best, or he can try and come over and hug me, but we will not be friends. And they both answered that separately, but very definitively when we spoke to them this week. So I think it ranks right up there. I don't think you're going to see a hug afterwards.
Wow.
So I think
Wow.
after Saturday night, we'll be able to say it's one of the most heated.
Who hates each other more, though? Colby and Jorge, or Maria Agapova and Miraz? I think that, like that. There's probably some people who are, everyone's tuning in for Colby against Jorge, but on the undercard, Maria Agapova and Miraz hate each other.
People don't realize. Yeah,
I was reading up on it before.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Yeah.
Miraz was
another former teammates, right? They
Yep.
used to be teammates, and now they hate each other. Yeah.
Yes, and they've sort of been calling at one another in these post-fight interviews throughout like the past, I don't know, year or so. I love that you brought that up because we were just talking about it in the format meeting, and there is so much heat on that one. I wouldn't be surprised that at if our ceremonial weigh-ins, if that face-off is more intense than the main event one, because I think with Colby and Jorge, they are such veterans of the game, and they've both had fights with a lot of heat on them before. I think they kind of know how to manage their emotions. I think Colby likes to be in a chaotic situation, but I think Jorge is sort of going to make sure he reins himself in. I could be totally off, and we'll see tomorrow on the weigh-in stage. But I think the women are going to have a very intense face-off. I wouldn't be surprised, if they have to keep them separated backstage as well.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Another thing. You write all of your own hits, and you also don't do any of them with a prompter. I feel like that's something that maybe people don't realize.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
I think that's very impressive, especially
Amazing.
considering the elaborateness of some of the shots with the crane coming in and whatnot. Has a fighter almost ever run you over in one of those walkout hits?
I actually did. I've only been run over one time. I think it was Madison Square Garden, and it
Really?
Yeah, it actually knocked me for a loop. I got a headache and stuff. You couldn't see it on your camera, but there's always a camera that we have eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a fighter, it was a cornerman who just ran right into me. So I'm glad you didn't know that, which means I hit it well.
Yeah.
They come close. Our ops team does a great job of telling them hey, Megan's going to be standing out there, and we rehearse with a full crew walking by, so we know okay, stand in this position, you should be out of the way. A lot of times I sort of move to the side as a fighter comes, but it's that one at MSG. I was like, oh my god, this is my worst nightmare, and it came true.
Do you ever feel tense as you're doing them, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me?
You just can't turn around. You got eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'm like, you saw me, I can't see you.
Does it feel as cool as it looks when it hits perfect? Because I was saying to Robbie before how in the NFL, I know obviously you do some NFL stuff too. On Sunday Night Football, they have the Collinsworth Sunday Night Slide In. You kind of have the UFC version, your intro monologue where you come out of the tunnel or whatever, and then the first fighter comes. That's kind of the UFC version of it. Does it feel when you hit it perfect? Do you just fist pumping in your head after?
Yeah, I mean, live TV, anytime you can do something well, you're fist pumping yourself, because everything can go wrong, and there's so much chaos that people don't see or realize, or how things change on the fly, and you have to really adapt to it. So first of all, the fact that you even mentioned me and Chris Collinsworth in the same sentence makes me feel so bad. But yeah, no, I definitely feel good when they go well, because I'm a perfectionist. So more often than not, I'm pissed off after one of my hits. Oh, I messed this up. I did something wrong. Normally people can't really pick up on it, but I just know within myself. So when they do go well, I'm extra pumped.
And even way more impressive that you're not reading off a prompter. That's incredible.
And she writes them herself.
That's incredible. That makes it even that much more impressive.
Thank you.
How long?
Thanks. I mean, it's definitely a skill.
How long does it take to write each hit?
That's a good question. I mean, so I'm already working on scripts, but it takes a long time. It takes several days, because there's also when a card changes, our entire line of responsibilities change too. So there are times where I'll have written all of my scripts and then they'll tell me a fight fell off and everything will change. And then you're starting from zero once again. So, I mean, for this, I've done a lot of interviews with the people that I am reporting on. Cause for me, I can't just read articles and then speak about them. Like I have to speak to the athlete to make sure that like I am getting, firsthand source for whatever I'm saying. So I've spoken to everybody and then I'll continue to write and narrow it down because we have to be within like a 32 to a 37-second range. So that takes like a lot of revisions and making sure it's like information that the audience cares about. I could tell you about their statistics, but that's not my job. My job is to tell you a little bit more about them as a human being and give you a reason to care. And so we just want to make sure that it's the best information. Most of the time it's hard to narrow it down. That's like for me, there's so many interesting stories. I mean, you don't fight in the octagon because you've had a totally normal life. Mm-hmm. So that for me is like the fun part to share. But yeah, it takes several days, and then Friday nights are just all about scripts, and I'll probably do like 6 hours and then send them off so they know what they're dealing with. So when we rehearse, they know what I'm going to say and they can sort of practice timing with our walkouts.
Who's the hardest name in the UFC to pronounce?
Oh, good question. There's a lot of them on this card.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on this card. I would say like a lot of the Dagestani fighters and then a lot of fighters from our Asia region. Just because they also sometimes switch how they say their name. They'll say maybe their last name first, or it's just sounds that we as Americans aren't used to making. Some Brazilians too, they'll have like certain vowels in their name and the way you're supposed to say them. We try our best. John Anik is by far like our fearless leader with pronunciations, and he sets the bar so high. The rest of us are just we're trying and we do our very best and we practice, but man, I mean, with an international sport like this, there are just some days where I'm like, how am I going to do this?
And so many names coming in and out all the time, like so many new names that it's not even like you can learn the roster and then you're good. It's like you learn the roster and next month you got 10 new names. Yeah. A fun game, by the way, I was going to say. If anyone goes to UFC fights that Megan is working, if you're going to be there this weekend, just like look for her on the crowd. You see her running around sprinting with like usually Jimmy Stewart. She's got like one guy with her and she's like trying to sprint to all the next hits. It's like almost like a Where's Waldo? Like, where's Megan? Oh, there she is. And then you miss her for a second.
That's awesome.
I know. I always feel so bad. I always want to see Robbie, and then I'm just like running and waving. And
she runs and waves. She's like, "Hey, what's going on? How are you?" And then she's out. She's like the Flash. But yeah, the best in the biz for a reason.
Oh, thank you.
How many steps do you take on UFC?
Oh yeah,
like,
you have one of those
have
wristbands?
The phone with you?
Yeah, I have the phone with me a lot. Sometimes I leave it at the octagon or at my backstage setup, but I do like a few miles every show, and we're in an arena, so that tells you how much I'm moving. But yeah, it's several miles between when I do football games, because I like am always on the move. I like to be on both sidelines as much as possible. Those two, I feel like I work out so much at work. It's almost insane.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't be able to do this season, but I know how big of a baseball fan you are. Is that something you want to do one day too?
Oh yeah, I got a Babe Ruth shirt on right now.
There you go. Roots of fight. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, here's the thing: is I definitely would do baseball, and I'm hoping they, can come to terms soon, so we get a season. Go Yankees.
Go Yankees.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
That's right. But I feel like it would actually be really hard for me to hold in my bias.
Yeah, you got to be the Yankees reporter or nothing.
Right, exactly. It's like, yeah, that's cool. You guys tried, but the Yankees are still better than you. You know what I mean? Like,
that would be amazing to see. Megan, thank you so much for being the first guest on the
Truly,
Spinnin'
I'm honored.
Backfist MMA show. Hopefully you'll be a return guest as well. Yeah, we're going to try to do this before a bunch of cards, trying something new at Barstool.
I think you should do it. You're an innovator, Robbie. I'm so proud of you. You're continuing to kill it. The rest of the team, bravo on all of this. Thank you for having me, and I'm just a fan of all of you, so I'm excited to tune in every week.
Hell yeah. We can't wait to see the card this weekend. We can't wait to see which hits you went with and how well that they are executed from a cinematography standpoint.
I'm just going to say this. We're going to do something new with one of my hits on the pay-per-view. Fingers crossed we get to do it. It should be really cool.
Hell yeah. Fingers crossed. A little tease. A perfect tease. There you go. Megan Oliveira, ladies and gentlemen. That was great. That was great.
Thank you.
This card is awesome. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of picks. I think the first two guests were two hits. Two great guests.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Megan both.
Good
two
start.
very different like perspectives on the fight game.
They both gave some great quotes. Like Patty said, "No, I could sell out Anfield tomorrow."
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, maybe, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know if he could.
How many seats we talking?
I think Anfield's 40.
Okay.
Oh, he could do 40.
Pretty fucking big, but yeah,
Pretty
I believe
fucking
in
big,
the baddie.
It's City Field.
Depends on the opponent, I guess.
Anfield's big, but it's not as big as some of the other soccer stadiums in Europe. But it would be like that would be an iconic fight. That'd almost be fighting at Yankee Stadium because Anfield's been there
For
forever.
him, yeah, especially. Yeah.
Especially, and
having
then for
the
him,
Liverpool
yeah.
connection, having the soccer connection, football. I'm sorry, but yeah, you want to talk about this card a little bit? Give some picks.
Let's do it.
I like that we have the group environment in the future. I think we'll have Jersey Jerry said he wants to join. Spider may join. TJ's in the back right now. He's a big MMA guy as
TJ
well.
knows
We
what
could
he's
throw to him
talking
for
about.
picks. Like, there's a bunch of people in this office that are now big MMA fans. Chuck is another one.
Chuck, yep.
Where it used to be just I was the MMA fan, and now we got a bunch. And that's why we're doing the show like this, a group show, trying stuff new. Give us your feedback. Give us your suggestions. I thought about calling it the whack because it's kind of like the yak, but a lot of people would think it's whack, and it's also like whack, like MMA.
Yeah.
But let's talk about UFC 272. So we'll talk about prelims first, and then we'll go through the main card.
We should have asked. There was a lot to get in, but we should have asked Megan how to pronounce who is fighting Dustin Jacoby.
That's a good
That was
question.
about to be the question.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking at. Too.
In my head, I was like, once you start putting like JCs and Zs all together, like simultaneously, like it's a weird. I'm just like, I don't know what
I'm
the
surprised she
fuck.
didn't say some of the Eastern European names are up there. I mean, it's not that far off from Dagestan, so
True.
like geographically, but I don't know how to say his name. Mikhail
Oleksiejczuk versus Dustin Jacoby starting off the fight night.
That's a banger of an early prelim. That
Yeah.
first fight of the night. That's a banger.
It's awesome, and I just wrote down the under for this one because I
Yeah.
think somebody's going down and somebody's going down early. I think you like the upset, right?
I do. I like Oleksiejczuk, however you say his name. I know I watched his last fight, first round KO. He's won, I think, 3 of his last 4 wins were by knockout. It's just Jacoby's a great kickboxer. Where I mean, it's just a fight that's going to be bang out on its feet, fireworks. I always in a spot like that where I do think they're pretty comparable. I always love taking the dog. So I think he's money line. He's plus 150 right now. In KO plus 400. Like I said, when he wins fights, they're usually by knockout. I think him by knockout plus 400 is a good price.
You said after UFC 267, Michael Oleksiejczuk, I love to knock out people. I want to knock out more people. So
He's got a
There you
chance.
go. He
right
wants
here.
to knock
What
out
a
more
quote.
people. He said it himself. Yeah, there you go.
And I think the general public knows Jacoby more. I think he's fought a little more.
Yeah,
Like he's been pretty
definitely
active.
more of a name.
He fought on that Usman Covington 2 fight as well.
Yep. Yeah, both of them were.
That is-
They fought on the same card last time, right?
I don't think he fought on that card.
No, am I thinking?
He fought on the one with Rob Font.
Yeah, with Aldo. Yeah, that's what we were saying.
I just remember because I was there. I got Jacoby. He fought. I think the guy's name was Allen. I think he might have been a late replacement. I believe.
Yeah.
I think something happened. But Jacoby's a good fighter too. But I just think this is like a firecracker fight. So I'll take the dog here. I like him by KO.
There's a lot of good fights on the prelims. Like the prelims aren't studded with names, but a lot of the actual fights themselves are awesome.
Like,
So, Robbie, who do you have your eyes on? Like, who do you guys have your eyes on? So I'm more of I love watching the MMA. I always get together with my boys to watch like a lot of the main cards. So a lot of these names in the prelims and the early prelims I have never seen before, besides Devontae Smith. But this is not the wide receiver Devontae Smith. This is definitely not. So who do you guys have your eyes on here? And like, who should I be looking out for? Talk me some of these storylines. And is that Khabib's cousin up there in the featherweight? And
No, I think
I
that
think
one's actually not related
related at all.
to
But he
Nurmagomedov
is-
family. But
he is.
I still have a
disgusting.
steadfast rule. I would never bet against the Nurmagomedov. I don't care if they're related or
good
not.
rule. Good rule.
See that last name, you feel like an idiot if you bet against him and then he beats you.
I almost think having a name like that, it just adds like a minus 200 to your.
Yeah.
It's like I promise, like the one that you're saying who's fighting Kelleher.
Yep.
Like if his name was not that, if his name was like John Smith, same ability, it'd be like a pick'em fight.
Yeah. And
Well, he's-
Kelleher's a New
It'd
York
be
guy.
minus like 250.
He's minus 800.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's a massive line.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
And Kelleher's not bad.
Okay, see,
He's
Kelleher's-
not bad at all. He's won
Kelleher's a
2 in a row,
dog.
3 in a row. Yeah, he's a dog, yeah.
He's fought like good competition too, like
Yeah.
solid UFC competition.
So, yeah, Kelleher, I mean, he's always someone I look for as a dog, but plus 650. I mean, I think we know Umar's going to win this fight. But
You get
That's
Umar
a wide
plus
line.
130 via finish on Barstool Sportsbook.
See, and that always like throws me off when when it's that wide of a line, but still plus money to
Yeah.
finish. Obviously, he's going to wrestle in it, but I mean, Kelleher, like you see, Kelleher wrestles with guys too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the level of wrestling here is definitely like much different. Also, he is first leg of the spinning backfist parlay.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. We have a spinning backfist parlay that I guess we will unveil at the end of this when all the picks are given.
Sure.
But it's on the Barstool Sportsbook now. If you go to the Bet with Barstool exclusive section, you can bet with that. And what is it, plus 435?
Yep, it's like 4 or 5 fighters, like some money lines.
Some chalk zone parlay. That's what I like to call it because I used to like that show, Chalk Zone.
And then Devontae Smith against Klein. I don't have a lean here. I mean, I lean probably under. I think this is another
It's a firecracker.
it's another both of these fights that start the card. If you just want to parlay them, Magic MMA style fight doesn't go the distance. I think you're and then you could even throw in, like, let's say you like Colby later. I think both these don't end up going the distance. And we're talking right now Devontae Smith against Rodovote Klein. But Klein's another kickboxer, I think, right?
You know, he's a good striker.
Yeah, he's a great striker.
I remember watching his debut. He knocked out Shane Young in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Shane Young's in the UFC still, to be honest.
And I think he does. His specialty is like head kicks. I'm pretty sure he lost. I know he did lose recently.
He
yeah.
lost. Yeah, I forget who he lost to. He is a good striker, though. I know. Like Smith, I think has a little more like knockout power in his fists.
I think this line's like completely fair.
I think it's pretty fair. I also love Smith rounds 1 and 2 plus 140. I wrote down 11 out of 14 of Smith's fights were over before round 3.
That's what I was gonna say. I knew like it was something like 11 or 12 were by knockout.
Yeah,
his wins.
And then
how much if he wins, he's gonna.
Nine of Klein's fights were over before round 3 too. So both of these guys don't like to go the distance. They don't like to leave it to the judges. I think the under and whoever you like, or I like Devontae Smith rounds 1 and 2.
Timothy Elliott.
Tim Elliott is like kind of a fan favorite here. I don't think he's going to win this fight, but I mean, he's another one where I feel like almost like a Kelleher, you can't count him out as a dog.
See, it's tough. It's like because when you look at like Tim, like his strength of like
it's insane.
Schedule is so crazy. Like it's literally just like Demetrius Johnson, like
Everson.
Who?
Figueiredo.
Yeah, like Figueiredo. Like he's literally fought like the best guys.
Even Royval. He has Askarov.
Yeah, Royval's a stud. Like,
yeah.
Like that literally is the top like 4 of the top like 7.
Yeah.
That's
and then
crazy.
Nikalu too. That was his most recent fight. He's top 10 flyweight as
Tim Elliott still have his mullet too, or did he cut that?
I'll go to his Instagram
I
now.
think he had a pretty sweet mullet for a
I'm
while.
pretty sure he had it his last fight.
Yeah.
Didn't he lost to, or he won a split to Mateu?
I think when I was looking at his Tapology
Mateu,
last
he
night,
lost.
It had an old picture.
He lost
no mullet.
unanimous decision loss.
Yeah.
He fought Nikalu. That was
He's
on
he's a good fighter too. He's very good.
October 9th. Yeah, he's a top 10. It looks like he still has it. I'm looking at his Instagram right now. It's kind of cut.
Oh, that makes me not like him even more.
Yeah, it looks cut in the
You
back.
got a mullet and you cut the mullet. I feel like you lost him.
You got to ride
It's
with
like
the mullet.
Samson thing. Is that
Be like if Patty changed his hair, that would be.
That's what I was thinking. I
devastating.
was also thinking, and this would be a huge thing, but I was like, do I get Patty's haircut for the fight? I don't think I have his hair though. I think he's got straight hair.
I think there's you got a little
I think you need straight hair for that.
Oh, I
for
forgot
fringes.
that Tim Elliott was married to Gina Mazzani, one of the various
Oh,
UFC couples within UFC.
interesting. She's not a great fighter, but
Yeah, she's not.
No,
But
not as
hey,
a ricochet.
she's in UFC.
She still is in the
Yeah,
UFC.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a plus.
I think she's from Alaska.
She's employed.
Yeah. She's got cool tattoos, I think. I think
Yeah,
she's
no,
got like
she's-
colorful tattoos, right?
She looks, yeah, and
Yeah.
she's got colorful
Cool hair, yeah.
pink hair. She seems cool.
The next fight, Nikolai Negumereanu versus Kennedy Nchekuzua. I mean, the names.
I think you say it in Cheku, I believe.
Checkwu, yeah.
The
think it's
names,
Checkwu.
don't call us out. There's a lot of hard names to pronounce on this card. We're not always going to get names. I just said I always change Oliveira to Oliveira. I'm bad with names. I'm just a bad name guy. I got nothing in this fight. I have no idea how this is going
It's
to
funny because I love watching Cheku fight. If you watch his first like couple fights in the UFC, he's like the comeback kid.
Literally.
Like he would, his first. I think it might have been his first one, or one of his first was against Carlos Olberg, the guy
That was his.
Adesanya's
yeah.
boy, and he got picked apart in the first round and came back in the second round and just slept him. And then his second fight, he did a very similar. I think
Against
it was
Marquez.
Danilo Marquez, who literally was sat like on his back for literally like 2 full rounds, and then Kennedy just came in the third round and just like finished him, just knocked him out. But then his last fight, he got knocked out in the first round by what's his name, Dan Jung Un.
Da on Jung. I think Kennedy round 3 worth a sprinkle.
I kind of like the dog just because of his grappling, and I'm another insane name to say.
Yeah, this card's littered with it, and it's in America. Usually we get a card like this littered in Abu Dhabi because it's a lot of Dagestan, European, even Asian.
Mhm.
But yeah, where's he from? Is that Romania's flag?
I think
Niku.
he
Yeah, he's from Romania.
Yeah,
I wrote down his that I think I'm gonna play. I like him by finish plus 320.
Okay.
'Cause he's a big submission guy too. I think he's just gonna have a huge grappling edge more than like Danilo's was more like he's the jiu-jitsu, but I think this guy's gonna have a little more be able to like take him down type strength over just like jumping on his back.
Oh, we had a visitor that like I just did a double take. Miraz against Agapova. I think Agapova all day.
I like her by sub.
I love her by sub.
I love her too.
Plus 350. She's got 5 submissions on her record, 2 performance of the night submissions in her last 3 fights. I think that is an awesome play. And Moroz hasn't fought in 2 years.
10 wins, 8 by finish. Like she's a finisher.
She's a finisher.
These girls hate each other.
Right,
They
I mean,
used
you
to.
said
These
that
are the
before.
former teammates. Yeah, I
And-
mean the bad
and-
blood. Yeah.
And there's stories out there about Agapova since she's from Kazakhstan. Stories ever since I think she was at American Top Team. I think she may have gotten kicked out, or is she still there?
I think she got kicked out.
I think she got kicked out. There were stories like I think Morozov is telling them. So you never know if it's true or not. But they don't like each other because Agapova says Moroz is a liar. She's saying like very serious accusations. The police would come all the time or something. I don't know. But I think Agapova she's long. She does it. She's just one that. I mean, the Dobson fight's one of the worst losses in UFC history.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
she was what, minus 1,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that was just like
She's minus 215 for this fight.
Yeah.
Plus 350 by submission. I feel like that's
yeah.
Plus, I think 175 by finish too.
name.
I like sub. Yeah.
Marina Rodriguez versus Jan Zionan.
Another
Say
good
that last
fight.
name right? Zionan.
Great fight, but gambling wise, want no part of it.
Really? I think Marina's dominant.
I feel like Marina's gonna kick her ass.
I like her as like money. See, for me, like I like her in our parlay on the money line. Like I think she's gonna win. For me, like I just don't. I don't want to lay like minus 250 with her. That's kind of where I stand.
I love her. She's dominant.
What way do you love
that
her?
Rebus,
Oh, and she is also.
that Rebus knockout was crazy.
Yeah.
Rebus.
She was like, and then she like didn't stop it, and she was celebrating, and then she comes back and just like knocks her out.
Jack did say that in a special way, though. He's like, I love her.
I love
There was more than.
There was a little
MMA.
extra.
He loves
More than
her.
MMA.
Capital L. Yeah.
No. I'm excited to watch her fight.
Another fight on the prelims I'm excited for. I think this one's going to be fires. Jalen Turner versus Jamie Malarkey, the tarantula Jalen Turner, who sometimes weighs in with a fucking tarantula or a live
Fucking, I
tarantula.
hate spiders. That's terrible.
I hate it too. I'm like, if I was in that media room, I would run out the second he brought a tarantula. He has rear naked chokes in his last couple fights, and he's plus 500 via submission again here. I don't hate that at all.
For me, he's not bad. I don't know what it is. Like I don't have any beef with him. He's not like a terrible fighter. For some reason, every time I think about him just getting his face pounded in by Luque. Like just so savagely.
See that?
Like I'm just like because it was such a vicious beating and it was really fast.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like when
oh
you
my
see
God.
someone with missing a tooth, and then the next time you see him, even if they have the tooth back, you could only picture them.
Was he
missing
a
it.
last-second replacement for that fight?
He might have
He
been.
must have
I think
been.
he was. I think you're right about that.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's crazy when I like obviously like there's such different levels of like I think he's a UFC caliber fighter, but it's like crazy when like there's such levels to even like being on that level where like he could fight Luque 1,000 times. I don't think he'd ever get out of the first round.
Yeah, his strength of record isn't great. I mean, he lost to Favola. Shout out Steamroller.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
Stooley for
Steamroller.
Vol. He'll be a
Yeah.
future guest. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he beat Brock Weaver. Fuck Brock Weaver.
Like, I don't even think is he even in the UFC?
No.
No.
And then Uros Madik from Russia. I think he may be out of.
I was gonna say I think he might have
Oh, he's
just
not.
did he?
Is he still in?
I thought he almost might have just recently got cut. I could be wrong on that.
No, he's got a fight at least on Tapology against Omar Morales coming up in May.
Okay.
So he's still in the UFC.
Okay. So
So that's actually
I
not
know
a,
Morales.
it's not an awful one. Then Malarkey, I don't know.
I
I'm looking at that plus 140 line. And I think it's one of the better underdog plays on the
that's what I was
card.
gonna say. I almost feel like the line's like flipped. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he should be the favorite. I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised that he's not.
And Malarkey has been training with Volkanovski ever since he got just dominated by Volkanovski. First round, they used to fight in Australian FC. And
Oh.
Volkanovski beat him back in
Back
2016.
when Volk was like 230 pounds?
Yeah, he was
Crazy.
probably rugby. He probably had a rugby match and then came and fought.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always liked Malarkey. He beat Devontae
I
Smith.
do like Malarkey too, yeah.
And then Kama Worthy. But he lost to Zaim, who got just absolutely dominated this past weekend.
I think McKinney might be like for
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy,
no,
dude.
He's real.
I
Yeah.
think McKinney might be like special, like a
Yeah.
maybe ranked down the line kind of guy. Like
I was also aligned this weekend, and I was like, Wait, what? And I was happy enough to go in there. I think it was just I got on my plus 100, and it was over in like
2 minutes.
over
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Minutes.
Onto the main card. The main card starts with a heavyweight fight between Sergey Spivak and Greg Hardy. I hate Greg Hardy. I would never pick Greg Hardy or bet on him. So I'm
Fuck
betting
Greg
against him
Hardy.
here. And
Fuck Greg
I
Hardy.
don't think he has a single win against anyone in the UFC anymore. He's on a 2-fight losing streak now. If he gets a third one here, I don't think he's going to get cut, but I think he can get cut.
He's just such a big draw, and like at least for me, I love watching him lose. And
Yeah.
the thing is, though, his fights you have to tune in for because it could be a 15-second brawl where he just throws the most insane uppercut or just overhand right. I like watching him fight, but I always root against him
Yeah.
hard.
I feel like he could lose like 10 fights in a row. He'd still be like the first fight of every
Yeah.
pay-per-view card that he's on.
I agree.
It's
Big F.
crazy to me that this fight is on the main card. I
It's
get it,
true,
but like there's so many
like,
good.
'cause I would have really noticed like he was on the obviously he got knocked out by Bam Bam in that last fight.
Yeah.
What headline card was that again?
That was the New
Drawing a
York
blank.
one. That was Colby and Usman.
No.
oh, it's Poirier McGregor.
That's what it was.
Oh, because I was at
a
it. Yeah, I was at it.
And it like stuck out to me how much like even like very, very casual fans around the office, like even like big cats and guys were like so invested.
Yeah.
I know it's different when McGregor fights because that's like literally everyone watches when he fights, but you notice like when Hardy fights, like people really get behind it that aren't even like that big into like UFC and MMA.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
I
because
feel- I
he
feel
was
like-
known in the NFL, obviously.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why I just feel like he could like lose forever. And,
Yeah.
like, still, they'll throw him a few tomato cans in between. I'm sure he'll get some knockout wins because he's just such a freak athlete. And him even talk about that he walks around 310.
I know he said he was at
Crazy.
291, 296.
That was what
Insane.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Like he's at risk of missing again, and he didn't officially miss, but he missed last time and then had to use the extra 2 hours. Then he made it. But it's like, bro, you're a heavyweight missing weight.
Tafa
Yeah.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh,
he landed a first round head kick knockout.
Yeah.
I am. Okay, I'm not supporting Greg Hardy by any means, but I am going to paint a picture of him being a decent UFC fighter. Okay, so his loss was to Ivasa. I think he easily could have knocked him out there.
He could have.
He had him hurt. Obviously, he had him wobbled for a
Yeah.
second.
And the Tybura loss isn't that bad. His cardio gave out in the second or third
Tybura's
round.
pretty-
He's got
Tybura's not
no
bad.
grappling though.
I know, and
Put him on his
That's
back.
what
He's a
that's
turtle.
what Spivak gets him on his back. Like it's
Yeah.
over.
that's yeah.
He's gonna get his face pounded in.
So maybe I think Spivak is the rightful favorite, and maybe this is lined correctly. I could see a Hardy knockout for sure.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
He could. He
Yes.
could.
Round
take it.
one KO.
Spivak's
Don't take him any other way than
I
knockout.
actually think like Hardy first round KO isn't like a terrible gambling look.
Yeah.
It's like when he touches Spivak, like he's gonna hurt him.
And then Spivak maybe round 2, round 3 later in, you could see Hardy getting through. Let's say it's more of a stand-up round 1, then round 2, Spivak gets him down a little bit more, and then later in round 2 or early round 3, we start to see Hardy's cardio go like it did in the Tybura fight. We see the weight. The weight is not going to help his cardio. And Spivak just laying on him. He's a
Yeah,
turtle
he's
on the
gonna
ground.
lay on him,
He's
yeah.
going to lay on him. And Spivak's great. That line's a little, I don't know. I wouldn't, these lines are
A
kind
little
of tight
heavy
to say, yeah.
for him. Yeah.
But we'll see. Greg Hardy, he's rightfully disrespected
Yeah.
because he's a massive asshole.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
Piece of shit. But I do think he does have the ability to win this fight and in exciting fashion, which may suck because it's like I don't want to celebrate Greg Hardy.
These fights are always some of my favorite to watch is because the picture of Spivak and Hardy in the ring is hilarious. So if
Yeah.
Spivak wins, it's going to be like Andy Ruiz beating Joshua all over again. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the dad bod. He doesn't even really have like a dad bod per se, but like Greg Hardy is so massive and just pure muscle. I always love when the guy you just visually think has no chance to win pulls out a win.
Strong chin on Spivak.
Yeah.
He's got a strong chin, like literally. If you look at it, like I think it's
He's
like
got a
an
cleft
iron
chin.
Crimson chin.
Crimson
It's a
chin.
crimson chin.
The crimson chin.
But maybe Greg Hardy will find a way through it.
So I'll say just he's Hardy's plus 550 first round.
Yeah.
If anyone wanted to look at that, just
Yeah, I think that's
I'm
that's
just
a
saying,
lot.
If you're a piece of shit and you want to
Yeah.
bet on him, go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm just a gambling hardo, so I
Yeah.
can at least not like look at it and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Good value. It's good value.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland minus 305 against Alex Oliveira. This is going to be his first fight at 170. Maybe a risky cut, but he has always been a smaller guy for his division, so it could not be. He's minus 305. It's another one of those things where it's like you're not going to bet him money line, I don't think. but via decision, he's plus 250. I think maybe the cut could affect him. I know you guys like that submission line.
Yes, because I always bring it up before, like his Oliveira's last fight, Randy Brown literally one arm rear naked choked him. It was like he just demolished him, just ran in there, just ran through him. I think Holland can do something similar here.
Yeah.
Oliveira's done.
Holland's probably
he's old,
pretty
man.
determined at 170. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's lost his last. He lost his last two. Basically, in the last three, he's 0-2 with a no contest.
Yeah.
Where he got knocked out by a head.
I think
his last
Holland's a great parlay piece.
Yep.
I think he comes in here with something to prove. And
I think he finished him.
Oliveira's a
round
bum.
too.
Also, Holland on his feet. That's never been his issue. He's been great on his feet. But it's the wrestling, and then even when he's on the ground, it's not great. But he's getting a little bit better. He's under Johnny Hendricks.
See, the thing with Holland is just knowing him, and he even said it in his in his interview the other day. I think he's going to come in here and just shoot takedowns, like just to prove something.
Yeah, he's like a meme fighter.
He literally said it. He was like, I'm going to shoot a couple of takedowns, like go in there, try to show it off a little bit. He likes that shit. He
talking to
the whole time.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
talking
Like,
the whole
I almost feel like you could see here him just wrestle him, just to prove he could wrestle him.
Yeah.
When I think he could finish him, if he goes after him, I think he could get it done, but early. But
this next fight, I think, is personally the most intriguing fight
this
on the
one's
card,
awesome.
because it's fucking Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. Thug Nasty. Two fighters that everybody likes to see fight. Everybody tunes in for every one of their fights.
The line's intriguing, too.
The line is very intriguing. On Barstool Sportsbook, Edson Barboza plus 128, Bryce Mitchell minus 159. I like Bryce Mitchell via decision plus 250. He is facing the toughest test of his career in Barboza. Barboza has a good ground game. I don't think he's going to get submitted. And if Bryce Mitchell isn't submitting you, he's taking you to the judges. He's got no knockouts on his record. Strictly submissions, strictly decisions. So I like playing Bryce Mitchell plus 250 via decision.
I think this is another one where I feel like the line is reversed.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't believe it.
So Bryce Mitchell has beaten nobody. And I don't hate Bryce.
No one.
His 4 fights in the UFC, I think he was 3 decisions. He pulled off the twister on Matt Sales,
which is pretty if you're pulling off twisters, it's even if you are beating nobody, you could fucking.
There's part of where I'm that's impressive, but also to get twisted, you're a bum.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit. I don't mean to be that guy. I've never fought nothing. I don't mean to disrespect.
No disrespect.
I would get put in the
That's
twister.
me talking. That's just me talking shit with the boys.
I feel like I'm doing this show with a stiff neck. I feel like I'm in the twister right now.
Shout out to you, Robbie.
When Robbie turns and looks at me, it's almost like he's looking at me in the wrong way.
You gotta turn your whole body into Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Think about who Edson who is
everybody. He's fought everybody on the roster.
Mitchell is not beating a ranked guy. He is really nobody. I like Edson in this fight.
He's a good underdog, and I love him as a person. I love both of these guys fighting. I love Edson Barboza is just one of those classic MMA guys that you always want to root for.
Yeah,
he was one of the innovators of spinning shit. He's got one of the greatest spinning shit knockouts of all time, where Joe Rogan's if he's not careful, he could get knocked out.
That's an all timer.
It does have to be careful with the leg kicks, because the leg kicks will open up Mitchell control his leg and then take him down. He's gonna have to be careful not to be taken down, because he is a turtle on the ground. But if Mitchell can't, I heard somebody say a stat. This may not be true, but Habib shot 11 times on Edson, and he was only taken down 6.
Pretty good.
So Bryce Mitchell,
he ain't Khabib.
He ain't Habib.
No, he ain't Khabib.
No shit.
Bryce is another guy who's good. I think is a great personality in the UFC. There's a great clip on his Twitter right now. Oh, these just some bozos walked in for an.
I think we literally just had 4 dudes off the street.
4 dudes off the street walking.
Walk in without security, just took a picture, and then just left.
Hey, awesome, Viva. But Bryce Mitchell, he has a great clip right now on his Twitter. I retweeted it recently. He was talking about how he can sell at Bud Walton, which is Arkansas's basketball arena. That would be great. That would be great, environment. Yeah. But I think if Bryce can't get Edson down on the ground, this is going to look like a Chase Hooper fight. I don't know why it's giving me Chase Hooper vibes.
Interesting.
Alex Caceres against Chase Hooper.
Yep.
I don't think
on steroids.
On steroids, but I don't think Mitchell is that bad at his defending. Chase Hooper just stands there, and I feel bad for him when he's in the ring.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if he's a young guy, so maybe he'll figure it out. But
Put me in a banana split.
Yep. He's also awesome. Yeah. He's also another awesome guy.
Yeah.
But
loves M&Ms. Just a big M&M guy.
Yeah, it's father Ben Askren. So
the co-main event, as we mentioned before, got changed. It was going to be the Battle of the Rafaels. It's now RDA minus 167 versus Renato Moicano plus 135. Moicano accepting this on 5 days notice, 3 days notice. It was something like that. He said he flew in from Brazil at 180. He has to cut to a 160 catch weight. That is too tall a task to ask from a fighter. I think Dos Anjos is a pretty easy bet here.
Yeah, this is what I don't love laying like juice. I'll lay juice with RDA here minus like 170-ish range.
Yeah.
Like I think it's
a 5-round fight.
That's the other thing. This is a 5-round fight on short notice.
RDA. I just like I'd be.
RDA is
the only thing that scares me is that to me the line like the books are giving Moicano respect.
Yeah, he's
like,
a plus
to me,
135 with the
only,
circumstances.
That's what I'm saying. Him being plus 135, everything considered, RDA's strength, like literally maybe the best strength of schedule, literally of all time in the UFC. Band.
Yeah.
Like I thought this line would open bigger. Like I thought he'd be 200 plus. Him being like the last I checked, it was 167. I'm very comfortable laying minus 167 with him in this fight.
Yeah, the Fiziev was wider against RDA. I was really excited.
True?
Yeah,
That's just
Fiziev
disrespect
was
to
minus
him.
210. I was really excited to bet Fiziev. There's this weird
I like
disrespect
Fiziev.
of him.
I like him too,
but
yeah.
He is like, and it goes back to the. I wish we started.
He knocked
this
out
show.
Moicano.
Yeah, I wish.
I want to say round one as well.
We started the show last week so we could talk about Bobby Green and the absurd love of Bobby Green on Twitter. But people have said that Bobby Green beat Fiziev. And the Fiziev dominated him.
He won the last round.
Yeah. Bobby Green's great.
Fiziev clearly won the first two. Bobby Green won the last
One
round.
pride rules.
But I really love Fiziev. We'll see what he had COVID. He's not going to be able to fight. But
Bone aches. He said COVID was so bad his bones hurt. That sounds like the worst form of COVID. I got COVID as a runny nose. Maybe I'm stronger than Fiziev. I don't want to.
I saw a theory. Yeah, I saw a theory that like in America, COVID's different. It would make sense the variant's different. So when fighters come over and then they get COVID, it hits them a little bit different because
there's been stories of Garbrandt, Kamzat. Like there's so many fighters that got
that
fucked by
really
COVID.
bad. Yeah,
Like long term for months. It's
Kamzat's the craziest.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's back to
like he's
normal.
good now.
well,
Yeah.
Hamzat, they said he tried to like train through it, which is making it worse.
All right.
And
Like,
then he was
they were
posting
telling
the
him-
videos of him bleeding and
they were-
training,
they were
like,
telling
coughing
him,
up
like-
blood. Yeah.
They were telling him like chill out, and he just like wouldn't stop working out, and they were like, "You're making it worse."
Yeah.
I know Cody's talking about.
Brother, I do this. Brother, I do this.
Yeah. Brother, we have a wallet, AKA.
We need him and fucking Till as like the new like step.
Oh my
brothers.
God!
Yeah.
At first, it was Till and Mike Perry. Remember that
Yep.
years ago? They were like the best of friends. And then now, he got a new best friend in Hamzat. Let's talk about the main event as we're up against an hour here. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Big grudge match, but the odds don't see this as closely as these two see it. The odds are minus 345 for Colby, plus 265 Masvidal. I like Colby via decision, minus 112. I know a lot of people listening are going, Robbie Fox, that lib cuck.
Yeah.
I'm picking Colby via decision. I think this is going to look exactly like the first Kamaru Usman Jorge Masvidal fight. And maybe not as many foot stomps, but I think he's going to push him up against the cage and just volume punch him to death.
I'm definitely afraid of this fight being boring because the two names like you want this to be like a banger. Like I
know non-MMA fans are going to watch it and be
And
like,
they're going to text us to be like, this is stupid.
boring.
like, oh,
Yeah,
Colby
and
just
it's,
laid out. And it was him taking him down, getting up, taking him down, getting up, pushing him against the fence, blah blah blah. I mean, I would love if Colby said fuck it and they just stood in the
I
middle.
want this to look like the first Usman-Colby fight where
Yes.
it's fucking through. Like, that would be amazing.
Like there's a little part of me that thinks like Colby maybe could like say fuck it, like I can win that way, and just pure pressure and just like he can't outlast me.
Yeah.
Which I think I agree with. That's 100%.
I was going to say, you might be able to do that.
Also, Jorge's sneaky 37.
Yeah, no, it's fair, and he just got knocked out.
Coming off a brutal
for the
knockout.
Brutal knockout.
As
the
bad a
first time
knockout as you
ever.
could get, yeah.
He doesn't seem the kind of guy that he's going to carry that in the cage with him.
Yeah, he won't.
But I don't think he will. But you never know. It's just something to at least like mention.
Yeah.
But there's like this weird, like my brain, my logical like brain tells me like Colby all the way. There's just something about the way Jorge's talking and just like he's giving me a like slightly listen. Colby's much better than Askren. He's giving me a little bit of like that Askren week vibes of the way he's speaking, where it's like he knows something we don't, and he trained with Colby forever, so like he might know something that we don't. And he has the ace up his sleeve, but as our guy Magic pointed out, which I think is a very fair point, I think people kind of see Jorge as like this crazy like knockout puncher, like he did it against Till, which is impressive, and he obviously landed the incredible flying knee, not his fist, like great knockout. But I think people are, and like the Nate Diaz performance was phenomenal as well. But I think we're kind of like, the public might see him as the more of a knockout puncher than he is.
Yeah.
And can he knock out Colby? I think 100% he has like the physical capability of doing it, like no question. But I think Colby's also proven, like in that last Usman fight, he has a good fucking chin.
Yeah.
Great
Like,
fucking chin.
that second round when he landed the one that dropped him, he got up and dropped him again. I thought he was done.
Yeah.
Done. And him coming back and fighting much better even the second half than he did before that.
Crisping, like, yeah.
Very, very impressive. Like Colby really impressed me in that fight. So like, I mean, I like if you want to just like root for Masvidal, like him by knockout, I think is like fine. Like he's plus like
Yeah, that's what I'm rooting for.
he's plus like 270 to win. He's plus probably like 350, 400 by knockout. But also in our parlay, I like if it gets to Colby, I think putting a little sprinkle on Masvidal to hedge is not a bad look.
Yeah, before we get to the parlay, Colby's gonna just run through him.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. I would think 100% run through him before I listen to Ev. I respect Ev's point of view on this, and specifically, yeah, Masvidal has trained with him. Maybe he has an ace up the sleeve, but I think Colby runs through him. It's easy. 50-45. I could even see a 50-44. Late round 4, round 5 stoppage. He's going to run through. He's so much better than Masvidal.
You like the decision too, though.
I don't mind the decision.
Yeah.
I think like you could see but Masvidal's not a quitter. He only like unless he gets knocked
it's
out,
just
but he's not.
That's
going
it's
to.
hard for me to like envision. I agree. I hear you. Like I think that's like definitely my brain. Like when I really think without my heart, like that's definitely.
I think
Not
he's
be shocked at all by that. But
rightful minus 350. I think should be up to like minus 500, minus 550.
you think so? You think that high?
Yeah.
'Cause my only thing is with like I know you point out like you thought the Usman line was like insane. Like the Usman line should have been way higher.
Yeah.
Totally fair. He obviously proved that both
Yeah.
performances, but I just think like when you had Usman at the same, like Usman is better than Colby. Obviously he's proven that. So I think the line is fair-ish.
Pretty close, though. They're pretty close.
But Usman in
Yeah,
both
that's
those
true.
fights looked minus 1,000.
Yeah.
What gets
Yes, yeah. Against Masvidal, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure,
What gets me nervous here is like Masvidal has nothing to lose. Like if he loses, like no one really, it's not going to affect him much. But Colby's whole shtick could go down with a loss against Masvidal when he's like the best. He's supposed to be like the best in the weight class and everything like
He
that.
gets knocked out by Street Judas,
That's
as
what
it
I'm
says.
saying.
That's an extremely fair point. I think I agree with that for sure.
Like that, and Masvidal is great under those pressure scenarios where like he has nothing to lose. He just goes there and just tries to fuck people up, tries to do some crazy
I
shit.
kind of disagree with you because if Jorge loses this one,
Yeah.
what,
It is a
like,
bad
what's this
look.
bad
What do you do
motherfucker?
next?
Like, wait,
Well,
I
yeah,
thought you were the
no
bad
point.
motherfucker. Like,
Well, I was saying, I agree with him in the sense that like Colby, like I think Masvidal, like obviously in his brain, like he wants to get back to the belt, and like beating Colby would like put him obviously like right back there. I agree. Maybe not. He has nothing to lose, but I think Colby part of it has more to lose,
Right.
In the sense that if he gets slept by Masvidal, he's like
Yeah.
he'll fight again in the UFC, but that whole like it's
Street, you can't call
cares?
him Street Judas after
like
he
who
knocks
cares,
out,
bro?
yeah.
Like you lost both your title shots. Now you're getting slept by like 37-year-old Masvidal. Like
On the where's the
Tough spot.
camera? There it is. On the Barstool Sportsbook right now, you can get the bet with Spinnin Backfist money line parlay. Put it together last night. Colby Covington, Rafael dos Anjos,
Yep.
Kevin Holland, Marina Rodriguez, and Umar Nurmagomedov.
I like
all
that.
to win. Boosted from plus 335 to plus 435. I think this is a very, very.
I really
good
like
bet.
it.
and Ev had a great point.
If it gets to Colby,
Yep, you
and
could
you
hedge.
sprinkle Masvidal, you're winning. You're
Yeah.
winning. You're doubling up.
Sprinkle.
Sprinkle, just a little sprinkle. That was the first Barstool Sports Spinnin Backfist MMA hour. This was a fun time, fellas. I really
Loved
had a
it.
blast talking.
Loved it.
For having us.
For
We'll
having
be
me,
back
love
on
it.
Monday. We're going to do a non-live show where we put it up on the feed where we kind of recap the fights, maybe a shorter show. And then hopefully next Thursday, we will also be back with a show much like this one. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you have any suggestions or anything, send them in, tweet all of us, and follow along with our picks this weekend. Thanks to everyone in the booth for helping us out as well. And we will catch you next time.